Yeah, I'm simple. I mean, I've got two jobs. I'm a social worker and a fitness instructor, um, working locally. Yeah, how do I know? I know Bella through fitness, years. And yeah, that's how we've met. Myself, I mean, I'm into my training, have been into my training for years, but all of a sudden it just sort of like went downhill. But yeah, I mean, it's been a journey. It's been a journey to here. And I mean, when Bella put it out on YouTube, she did a blog last year. Was it last year, Bella? I think it was
Earlier this
last
year, I
year.
think it was.
Earlier this year.
Yeah.
And I thought, wow, because like you say, it's something that nobody talks about. Well, I mean, you'd say to your friend, oh, I'll get hot flushes or whatever. But to go deeper, it's not something that we talk about. And when you put it out there, I thought, wow, how in my head I was like, wow, she's brave. You know what I mean? Like, wow, I couldn't do it. You know what I mean? I thought, wow, you're brave. But it's something that needs to be spoken about deeply because I mean, for you, Bella, and for myself, I was into my fitness. I was there on the day. I mean, you know, I had muscles, I had everything. I was fit. Marathon, I did, you know, did all sorts. And then all of a sudden, it's just like, you know, my friends were talking about, oh yeah, I'm going through this, I'm getting hot flushes, and I'm going, nah, I ain't getting them that. No, I'm cool, man. I'm what, you know, everything's good for me. Oh, now then I don't know. So, I mean, I went through grief, and my training went down, and then all of a sudden, it's like I've gained weight in my. I've never seen belly. I've never had a belly. I call it. I've never had a midriff. My legs, my knees, they've just gone all wobbly. And thinking, what is this? And it's just overnight. And it's like, wow. And then when I saw your experience, Bella, I thought, oh my gosh, it's serious.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean that's how I really got into talking to Bella, and well, you know, because we didn't really see each other often. We just spoke and saw
Like
each other
passing
online.
ships, weren't we? Just
Past ships, we were doing trade cover
yeah,
classes and stuff like that. And then it's just yeah, but then to see you come out with it, I thought, nah, and especially for you because you were into modeling and bodybuilding. Was you doing
yeah.
bodybuilding and all that?
I
You know
was
what I mean? And
heavily into it,
you was there.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And then you know, then you came out and I thought, wow, this is serious. This is something that nobody talks about. You know, my mom. I mean, if you go back into generations, my mom was just like, yeah, just get hot flushes and that's it. Get on with it. They just
yeah,
got on with it, and it's like you must have gone through more than that.
yeah.
But yeah, nobody spoke about it. But I'm glad we've got this platform. I mean, there are people talking about it. My friends are talking about it. I mean, I'm opening up about it a little bit more.
That's
So
good.
yeah, yeah.
Oh,
But
nice.
so yeah, that is me in the nutshell. Really, it's just hit me just like that. It didn't even creep like oh, I'm putting on weight. It just hit me. One morning I woke up and it's like it's belly. What energy levels dropped, everything. So
Yeah, it's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah,
Michelle?
yeah.
Hi, ladies. Hello,
Hi.
everyone. Yes, my name is Michelle, and I work in campaigns marketing. I know Bella via our hairdresser, lovely Des. And I think it
Yeah.
was basically just after lockdown, or just after lockdown when everyone was stuck at home. I'd been going through quite a lot of stress because my mum was very ill. And I was looking for sort of some exercise, and so Bella was doing an online exercise class, weights and all sorts, and it was a godsend to me during lockdown. I personally have never, I've always tried to keep fit. I've been to fitness classes, joined gyms, walked everywhere, been quite fit. I don't think as fit as you two ladies. You are kind of real gym bunnies and kind of like, we're sort of really into it. I've tried to I suppose my fitness has always been kind of like do as much as I can, but it's never been a love of mine. I do it from necessity, and I know that it's very good for me. And I've been the sort of person whose weight's fluctuated a lot, sort of
Yeah.
anywhere from sort of size 12 to size 16. It's like all my life I've always battled with it. So in terms of the menopause, A few of my friends, sort of from their probably about late 40s, started feeling kind of like the hot flashes, started kind of bad sleep. I was actually quite all right until I look back in retrospect when I realized probably around 50, early 50s, maybe sort of 51, 52, that I was kind of like, it wasn't so much the kind of physicality, or although that's come a little bit later. It was more like literally mood swings. I would be fine
Oh,
one
wow.
minute, in the next. Anything could set me off. The rage of things, like something would happen. I drop something, or someone would just irritate me, and the irritation was off the scale. I was like, I was literally up and down. And I thought, oh, is it my mental health? What's happening? You don't know. And then it started to be things like, I say started to be things, but I think, and they do say this about the menopause or the perimenopause, is that it occurs at a time when you're already having other stresses. So it could be a parent that's either ill or you're going through grief, which has both happened to me and your beliefs.
Yeah.
And then also or teenage children as well, or young people in their lives that they need extra help. So you think that you're stressed, so you put it down to the fact that, oh no, I've got a lot on my plate and I'm really, really stressed, which is why I feel that I'm not sleeping properly, which is why I feel that I'm angry, or why I feel upset all the time. But actually, as well as those factors, you're actually going through something
Yeah.
massively as well. So I think that's sometimes how it gets hidden, is that, or you start aching a bit and you think, well, it's because of my age. It's not
Mm.
because of your age. It's all things, the dry eyes, the the pain that's moved from your knee to your hip to your shoulder. It's not old age, it's the menopause, it's all these things due to you're literally a hormone that's been there all our lives, and it's starting to go down and down and down. And any other person, men, when men start losing their testosterone, they can go straight to the doctor. The doctor, oh, right, okay, let's prescribe you some hormones. They don't do that for women, which is why we get lost in the thing. And I think the first time I rang up about getting HRT, the doctor said to me, oh, do you need antidepressants?
Oh,
And I was
wow.
like,
Oh wow, yeah.
so
Interesting.
that's kind of where I came at it from. And it was through the help of a really good friend, actually, who did a lot of research before I kind of not believed her, but where I started taking this hormone replacement or other things really seriously, because
Mm.
I thought that I'd be like my mum and I'd be like, oh, it's not affected me that much. You just drive through it. But I actually started to think, no, this is not a joke. And just because our mums had
Yeah,
to deal with, we don't have to. We're a different generation, and we've got
yeah,
a little bit more what's the word, information at our fingertips if we
yeah,
want to go and look for it. But you still have to go and look for it. No one's going to offer it to you on a plate.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, as we both know, I know you guys differently through the hairdressing and the fitness industry. And going back to your point, Sybil, yeah, I did kind of put it all out there because it was I was tired of feeling embarrassed, if that makes
Yeah.
sense. I know I've put on weight. And you know what the trigger was? So I walk into the station and you feel big because I don't recognize my body. I really don't
Yeah.
recognize this body at all. It's taken me a long time to come to terms with how my body is looking now. Not that I'm going to give up, but it was last year I walked past two people that I knew from the gym, Sybil from Fitness First back in the day, and I could hear them talking about me.
Oh no. Yeah.
And I was like, for about 30 seconds, I was gutted and I felt like hiding. And I was like, hold on, no, 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 no. I felt like turning around and saying something. I thought, no, A, what has happened, I haven't asked for. It's come upon us because of age. I'm not going to hide it and feel embarrassed and ashamed about the way I look. Okay. So my journey was I didn't realize I was going through that, the perimenopause, because of grief. And I really do think that the grief that we've both with all three of us have experienced has really triggered it, but massively. Because with the grief, you're so distracted, you're dealing with your emotions, you're dealing with this, you're dealing with that, and your body's just spiraling. And before you realize what's going on, before you can think, okay, what do I need to do with it? I need to go to doctors and get HRT, whether I need to go on a diet, whether I need to train. A couple of years or 3-4 years have passed, because grief you don't get over. We all know. It's not like that. It's not instantaneous. And with mine as well, I had to think about my son. So whether people, they think, oh, using skin color as an excuse, but when you've got a black boy in East London, I just had to literally focus on making sure that he was on the straight and narrow. So that added more stress. So before I realized, so this was like, he passed away 8 years ago. It was like 4 or 5 years in, I just thought, what on earth?
Has happened.
What has happened? And then that's when the shame kicked in. And that's why I stopped teaching. So I honestly felt embarrassed to stand in front of a class and tell them to do this and do that. And I remember when I was teaching, I would wear the baggiest clothes. Nothing was, listen, mate, they were oversized to the heel. You could fit a couple of families under my top. They were as oversized because I just felt so embarrassed. And then I started to walk differently. Then I started to sit differently. And it was just one thing after another. And when I heard those people talk about me, I said, no, 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 no. I'm not allowing anybody.
Can I just say that that shaming says more about those people than it does about you?
Yeah.
Thank you. Just wanted to say that.
Thank you very much. And the thing is, you know that, but at the time, it hurt. So like a little stab. And one of them was a male, and I felt like saying, well, men die sooner before women anyway, so you can carry on and chat your nonsense. But no, seriously, going back to that, and I just thought, no, I need to relearn how to work through this, do some research, and start talking, and really start and finding out. And yeah, and that's when, my first video about it. So starting with you, Sybil, how have you experienced like hot flushes? And obviously there's a weight gain, but Michelle, with you with the moods, I didn't experience that, which is really interesting. Did you go through that, Sybil?
I didn't get any hot flushes. I mean, that's when, because when I was talking about my friends and that, saying, they got hot flushes, and I'm going, hot flush that. No, I've not experienced hot flushes, and I don't know, because I'm in the Caribbean now, so I mean I'm sweating anyway. It's hot anyway, but I've not, like, at nights. I must admit though, there has been times when I do have to throw off the sheets because I'm wet and I'm sweating at night. But it's not regular. It's not like on a daily. It'll be the odd, probably once a month or something like that. And I think when I've checked it, I think it's what I've eaten as well that contributes to that. If I've had spicy food or something like that, I've now noticed that I sweat more, and it comes out. So I'm watching what I eat on that respect. But no, I've not. The hot flushes, touch wood where it's not wood, but no, I haven't. And when I see people suffering and hear them talking about it, I think, wow. I mean, I sweat anyway. So whether it is happening to me while I was teaching, or when I'm in the sun in the Caribbean, I don't know, but I don't experience it like I hear my friends talking about. God, I've got to open the window, or I've got to take my top off, or it's just too hot.
How about you, Michelle?
I never really got hot flushes as such, and I've heard from close friends about how literally they were getting like 2 hours sleep a night because it was so uncomfortable. And they say it's a very different thing than feeling hot. So like tonight, we're all probably going to have a sheet on because it's boiling hot. But they said it's very different. It's like it starts inside you, and you literally, it's like the thermostat has started inside you. I've never really had that. Like I said, my symptoms were more slight. And again, you could correlate this with the whole anxiety I was going through at the time. I'm trying to separate a little bit of the both. I think it was heightened anxiety. It's my symptoms, yeah, heightened anxiety, mood swings, like very teary. One minute I'd be absolutely fine, and the next minute, just something that would never have upset me before. Like, I don't know, watching some soppy advert on the telly, I'd be in floods, like really ridiculous. Or, I was late for something and it was like the end of the world. So like really sort of like exaggerated emotions, a little bit anxious. I'd probably say things like started to notice my hair felt different. I felt like my skin was slightly. I mean, I know we're aging, but I just felt, I've lost the
Texture, elasticity.
Elasticity skin. Silly things like I had pain in my hip, and I was like, I've never had this pain before. And I thought, maybe it's something. Go to the doctors, do a little test. No, it's not arthritis. And then that week, that pain would go and it would move somewhere else in my body, and I'd be like, oh my goodness, like just like weird. Like, and then at the moment, I've got like a bit of a frozen shoulder, and it's starting to go, but it's just all these little pains that kind of like pop up out of nowhere.
Yeah. I had the hot flushes. I'm a bit hot now, only because it is 30 something in London, and this room that I'm in, when it's cold, and when it's warm, it's hot. It's a typical oven. So this is not one of the hot flushes, but I had the hot flush, and it lasted about 6 months. So the first one, I thought, oh, okay, I'm not working. It was, are you hot? I said to my colleague, are you hot? She's like, no. I said, oh, okay. And then we went to some drinks after work. Ladies, I kid you not, I'm there drinking, talking, and a furnace lit up inside of me, and it was literally streaming down my face, and I had to leave. My shirt was stuck to me, and I was like, oh my goodness, is this now I understand what some women are going through. I didn't have a lot of those moments, but when I did, I just felt again so embarrassed because it was always at a time when you're socializing or you're talking to someone, or and then you're like self-conscious and like you feel a bit of a sweat on your eyebrow, and then, oh, was my makeup gonna sweat as well, in the sweat off, all these things. But fortunately, lasts about 6, 7 months, and I very rarely get the hot flushes. Really, really do. The moods, I've been okay actually. I mean, I'm just my normal, sometimes catty self, but not to the point where you just think, oh, whoa, like what happened? Um, Insomnia, didn't have any of that, which I know some women have. A colleague of mine, she suffered with it very, very poorly. Really, it almost affected her job. And so that, I mean, those are like the general symptoms. My skin's been fine, but I'm like you, Sybil, it's all down to, I think, your eating and your drinking. Yes, you do notice it more when you get older, but if you are healthy, you are what you eat, right?
Yeah.
If you have highly nutritious foods, you drink a lot of water. In fact, you need to drink more water now because we dry out. Yeah. So I've been okay with regards to the symptoms, but it's not over, is it?
You think
There's
it is, but
92. There's 92 symptoms, isn't there?
Yeah, there's I had the list. There was like dryness because I went to the doctor. I'm gonna look it up while we're talking. I went to the doctor and just to do a general checkup. And he said, you know, have you going through this and that? And one of them was vagina dryness. I was like, mate, I'm not even sexually active, so I can't even answer that question and if I am dry or not. So um
But it's all to do with it, isn't it all to do with your estrogen level?
yeah, it's just like I don't know. I don't know. Ask me those questions, any personal questions. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's simple. Let me just look it up.
Is your doctor very sort of like knowledgeable or
Not really. Um, no, to be honest, no, not really. But I already did my research before I went there anyway,
yes,
because
yes,
you
Good,
have
yeah,
to be
good.
prepared. Okay, so you've got irregular periods. So I didn't have a period for 8 months, and then surprise, surprise, I had a period. So I'm still perimenopausal.
okay,
Hot flushes and sleep problem, which we discussed. Mood changes, vaginal and bladder problems. So under that, it says when estrogen levels diminish, your vaginal tissues may lose lubrication, elasticity,
yeah,
making intercourse painful.
yeah,
Low estrogen may also leave you more vulnerable to infections. Loss of tissue tone may contribute to incontinence. So that is I think that's a really, really personal question to ask. Now, I won't ask you ladies that question because it's one of those things that we're still coming to terms with because the
yeah.
thought of being incontinent is just, I think it's just,
Personal.
it
It's
really is
deep
personal.
and deep, and that I think
It-
that would be sort of like the icing on the cake because you're thinking, gosh, you know what I mean? I can't even control my bladder. I
Yeah.
can't even control, and you just think, wow, that in itself will just, I think, send me to thoughts of like, gosh, what's the point?
I mean,
You know,
just
I
from
know
my perspective,
they've
I
got
don't mind I don't mind saying that in terms of like going to the loo, is just that he's got to the state like when you're younger, you could like probably go think, oh,
oh,
I might need the loo, but
yeah,
now I will go to the loo just so that if there's an opportunity
Right.
arises, I'll take it to go to the loo because
yeah,
otherwise I can be doing the wee wee dance basically,
yeah,
Stop
where
shuffle.
you're
yeah. And it's so funny because I remember my mom always, every time she used to come back from shopping or whatever, she, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, I got to go to the toilet, thinking, why? And it's always, you know what I mean? It's like, and now I understand because it's like when it's ready to come, it's coming whether you're out, you know what I mean? Whatever you think you might be near a toilet, just get into a toilet, whatever. But it just comes, it's like unexpected, like, I've just been to the toilet and then you want to come again. It's like, wow. So yeah, the bladder control is a real one for me as well. That I try, even though they say drink plenty of water, I don't even want to drink the water because I'm having to go to the toilet too often. It's like, and it can come at any time. And I just, oh my gosh. So
You got to
yeah,
time it.
you got to time it. You got to time it. It's like there's no time. Like, okay, if I drink water now at 8 o'clock, I'm going to be going to the getting up again at 9 o'clock or whatever. It's just
Right.
yeah. So yeah, it's yeah that is something that is going to be definitely one that. Oh my gosh! But
Well,
yeah,
it
thanks
also
for
could have
sharing.
a lot to do with the fact that, as you said, Bella, like obviously when you think to yourself, I need more nutritious food, you know, so you're eating a lot. I'm eating a lot more vegetables now. I mean, there's a lot of things that are going really well at the moment. I mean, a lot of vegetables. I'm drinking a lot of water, but then makes you go to the toilet more. So it's kind of
yeah.
like a, you know,
Catch 22, isn't it? Really? Yeah.
catch-22.
Because they say
To
more
be honest,
protein and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
be
well, I'm
honest,
going to come to that actually. So, one of the signs is also loss of bone. So, with declining estrogen levels, you start to lose bone more quickly, which is why weight training is encouraged for, especially for women in our age.
Yeah, I saw that they even spoke about it on Good Morning Britain. Not that I watch
Yeah.
Good Morning Britain, but I heard Hillary and them guys talking about. I thought, oh, look at you lot talking about, oh, it's better, you know, weight training during
Well, look at
menopause.
Davina McCall. Is it Davina McCall? Is that her?
Yeah. Oh wow, she's
She's
just
championing
I
that
mean,
big
because she's
time.
trained with Faith. Is it Faith? I know Faye as well through the fitness industry,
Yeah,
and she's just gone. I mean, her body has changed in no time, and
yeah,
she's doing weight training. She's doing more. So I guess, I mean, it's individual because I've been training and my body still ain't changing no way, form. So it's like I might have to just go into wrestling or something, bodybuilding, because that's the only way I think my body's gonna change. You know, I'm eating healthily. I'm, you know, trying to drink more, but it's not happening. And it's frustrating, but yeah.
yeah.
And you go to your doctors, and all they want to say is, "Oh well, you know, if you know." Oh, anyway, I'm not going to go about doctors because, like you say, I do my
Yeah,
own
that's a
research.
whole
Yeah,
bugbear. But
yeah,
the
it's
last one is changing cholesterol levels. So um my cholesterol levels gone up and I was really shocked. Not a lot. So apparently if it's over the max it should be is 10 apparently. If it's over 5, 10 is like knocking on death's door. 5 is alarming. Mine's just gone up 0.5, so it's just over 2. But I was a little bit taken back when he told me that. Um, but which is all part of the
mm,
perimenopause menopausal journey. So what I've done, I've literally went on holiday, had a completely reset of everything mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, and I'm leaning more towards plant-based eating and
Yeah.
more raw foods because what I eat now will really affect my body.
mm,
I'm
mm.
really, really conscious of that.
100%.
Yeah,
I've
and it's a difficult one because, you know, like they say, right, you need more protein, you need, you know, you got to eat this, drink plenty of water, da da da.
Mm,
But then I've been trying that. You know, I've tried to do intermittent fasting and say that's good. And my body's like, yeah, you carry on, do that, but I'm not going that way with you. You know, it's like, hold on a
mm.
minute. I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, they say, but you're not helping. My body's like, no, no, that's not what I want. So
Yeah,
it's hard. So it's a learning curve for me. What am I going to
100%.
do? How, you know, what am I going to, you know, they say HRT. I don't want to go down that route. I'm trying my best not to go down that route. I'm not a medication person, you know, really. I like to try and do natural. So I'm trying to work out what my body is trying to say to me in that way. I know it's going to probably take a while. I'm in the Caribbean now, so it's like trying to do the bushes and the herbs and stuff like that to try and help.
Mm,
Like you're saying, you're going plant-based. I'm trying to do that, like go vegetables, just eat more veg and fish and stuff, and cut out red meat. I don't eat red meat anyway, but cut out those sort of things and
yeah,
more eggs and stuff. So it's a journey and it's frustrating,
it
but
is.
it, it
it's
is a
You're
frustrating.
journey.
you're on
And I
HRT,
think,
aren't you, Michelle?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
am. I went on because from my perspective, there's dementia in my family.
mm,
So on my dad's side, so my dad, not my dad, but my grandfather had dementia. My aunt has now got dementia.
Wow.
And from some of the studies that I read, um, basically they were looking. So again, there's a really great book called Invisible Women. So if you haven't read it, try and read it. It's brilliant because basically it shows you how the world is basically structured with basically with women not really being considered. So everything from the size of our mobile phones to our healthcare is all based on the average white male. So it's not catered for women. So in terms of the research into what effects the menopause has on women, there's very little. But what they have noticed is that there are more women than men who get dementia. And they're like, why is this? So I wonder why this is. And obviously, there's more research needs to be done, but it may have something to do with estrogen levels.
Wow.
And because our estrogen levels, I think now, again, I'm not a healthcare professional, I'm not a doctor, so you'd have to go and do, whoever's listening to this would have to do their own research. But
Mm,
every year when we start our perimenopause, our estrogen levels drops 1% every year. And that estrogen helps us to do so many things. It like everything that our body uses, whether that's proteins, zinc, all the vitamins that we use, helps the body to function in some way. And they believe that estrogen is a vital part of what makes our brain healthy. And because we lose that, for some women, that is step towards dementia. Not it's not again, it's this is not a way of kind of like freaking anybody out or sort of scaremongering, but I thought just in terms of my family history, etc., etc., I need to kind of like look at that. And also because I was like at this stage where my anxiety levels were like having an impact on my job, so like I'd be like scared to log on in the morning because my anxiety was so high. And again, you could put that down to other factors, but from what I said and from what I read, and from again all this the list of symptoms for perimenopause and menopause, I thought, let me have a go at this HRT. If it doesn't agree with me, if it doesn't work, I can always come off it. It's not a problem. And I wanted to get the right kind of HRT. So it's got to be body compatible HRT, not any of this synthetic stuff they were giving out in the past, which again, a lot of the research that they say, oh, you know, you're more likely to get breast cancer, you're more likely to do that. But a lot of that research is based on the old HRT rather than the new stuff, which is body compatible. So it was just for me, there was too many factors. I mean, again, I don't know if that's even going to prevent it. If in terms of what you can do to prevent, you can only do what you can to prevent things. So obviously, diet, exercise, etc., has got a massive factor with these things. But I just thought it was two cases too many in the family for me to think, well, you know, if this might help, then that would be, you know, help. That would maybe be something that I can do. So that's why I decided to go on the HRT route. And to be fair, it has really helped. Everything seems to have improved. My moods are fine, you know, better. My skin and hair better. But it's not a one size fits all. At the moment, I've got to go to remove a polyp. So again, polyps are normal, but it just means that I'm bleeding monthly now. So even though I'm on HRT, it's never straightforward. They need to change my medication after polyp removed. So, and again, women that I know who are on HRT, it's not a one size fits all. You have to keep going back to your healthcare professional to make sure that, you know, it's functioning the right way it should be, and if you don't need it adjusted, because there's different levels of estrogen that you can take and progesterone. So that's what I'm on, a combination of both.
Thing is, you need to do what makes you happy. You need to do what gives you that peace of mind. No one has any right to judge you or criticize you or tell you otherwise. It's not their place. It really is a personal journey.
Absolutely. And we all know our own bodies, and you've got to do what's right for your body. You know, if you choose to go along the HRT route, or you don't choose to go on, I think all women, again, it's about what we do with our own bodies, and we're in charge of our bodies. Factors. I mean, again, I don't know if that's even going to prevent it. If in terms of what you can do to prevent, you can only do what you can to prevent things. So obviously, diet, exercise, etc., has got a massive factor with these things. But I just thought it was two cases too many in the family for me to think, well, you know, if this might help, then that would be, you know, help. That would maybe be something that I can do. So that's why I decided to go on the HRT route. And to be fair, it has really helped. Everything seems to have improved. My moods are fine, you know, better. My skin and hair better. But it's not a one size fits all. At the moment, I've got to go to remove a polyp. So again, polyps are normal, but it just means that I'm bleeding monthly now. So even though I'm on HRT, it's never straightforward. They need to change my medication after polyp removed. So, and again, women that I know who are on HRT, it's not a one size fits all.
Yeah.
You have to keep going back to your healthcare professional to make sure that, you know, it's functioning the right way it should be, and if you don't need it adjusted, because there's different levels of estrogen that you can take and progesterone. So that's what I'm on, a combination of both.
Thing is, you need to do what makes you happy. You need to do what gives you that peace of mind. No one has any right to judge you or criticize you or
No.
tell you otherwise. It's not their place. It really is a personal journey.
Absolutely. And we all know our own bodies,
Yeah.
like, and you've got to do what's right for your body. You know, if you choose to go along the HRT route, or you don't choose to go on, I think all women, again, it's about what we do with our own bodies, and we're in charge of our bodies.
Okay, we're still young. I just think, you know what, I'm not giving up now. I can't, you know, you know, just want to get back into what I used to do before. Okay, it might be slower, it might be, but I still want to be able to go to the gym, lift weights, do this, do that.
Yeah.
You know, it's,
You've got
yeah,
fire in your
I
belly,
don't want
right?
to be written off. Yeah, I don't want to be written off, you know. I mean, I'm in a relationship, been in a relationship for whatever, how many years. And I'm trying to explain it to my partner and let him understand what's going on for me. Because, yeah, like you say, you get the mood swings. You know, I want to tell him about himself sometimes. You know, just, but that's not me. But, you know, it just happened. Your mood swings. 1 minute, like you say, you're bubbling. The next minute, it's like, oh, you know what I mean? Everything's just, you know, coming to an end. And I don't know if it's because of losing my mom, just, you know, it's just been 2 years, whether that's contributed to it, or the menopause. So, you know, I'm in between. So I'm trying to explain to him, trying to say, you know what, this is how I am. You know, my body's changed drastically. I mean, you know, he hasn't said, he said you'd put on weight, but I know what he means. You need to go hit the gym again. You know what I mean? But I know, I'm trying to explain to him, this is what happens to women, you know. At the beginning, it was hard because you said, well, how come them 70-year-olds and they don't look like that? And I'm thinking, listen, everybody's individual is different. You know, I'm hoping that I'd have my mom's body because she was slim, you know what I mean? So, you know, she went through, I'm hoping I still get her figure. But, you know, I'm saying to him, we're all individuals. We're not going to be, all women are not going to be the same. I'm going to have to work hard because what's happened to my body, it's like I've got another person on me, and I need to be able to work that off. So I'm trying to talk to him, trying to educate him, I'm trying to let him see. And I think men need to be involved in this as well. If you know what I mean, if you're in a, I think they need to understand, because he's also changing. He's feeling aches and pains, and he's just, oh, I'm getting old. No, it's all to do with your, you know, testosterone. You've got to understand you are changing also. So, you know, I'm trying to talk to him about it. I'm trying to say, you know what, boy, my back, you know, my knees and everything's hurting me. It is about, he's come with me to get my estrogen levels checked. My, you know, he's come with me to see, because you've got to be involved. You know, if we're going to be together, you need to know what's going on, because if I have to look after you when you're sick, you're going to have to look after me. You're going to know what's going on. So, but it is hard. It is a difficult thing, because I don't know for you, Bella, but because I was a fitness instructor, and you know, you have to look a certain way in it. You have, you know, and people look to you because, oh yeah, you're fit, man. Yeah, you know what I mean. And now I've lost that. It's like, even like coming back to teach classes, I think, oh, I can't do it. I can't stand in front of anyone and do it. And I said, no, you know what? Nah, this is me. Like you say, Bella, this is me. You're gonna have to accept it. I can still teach. I'm gonna teach. You know, if you're gonna look at how I am, it's not, I've not done this on purpose. It's happened. This is life.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, she's gone.
Oh, she's gone. Oh, she'll come back in a minute, hopefully.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, Sybil was talking about, you know, kind of the loss of, you know, thinking about some things as loss, like, you know, you're not able to do, or you're doing what you did before, but you're not getting the same results, or that sort of thing. And again, it's exactly like her, you know, you don't want to seize up, you don't want to not be able to do things. You want to go, if somebody says, oh, let's go for a lovely sort of 5-mile stroll down the road, you don't want to be like dreading it and thinking, oh, I can't do that, because that's not me. I want to be active. I want to get up and go whenever I want. I don't want to be hobbling around and blah, if I can help it. But I also think that we've got to be kind to ourselves and understand that we do change. We're not going to look the same or be the same as we were when we were 25 or 35. And that's normal. It's natural and it's the way of the world. And again, being judged by just the outer appearance. And I'm not talking about us wanting to improve and look good and feel good for ourselves, but as women being judged by what you look like. So are you, as if you're a commodity to be, you know, if you don't look a certain way, then oh, you know, you, like you said, you're written off, or that's not, I don't think, how I, you know, you don't look at somebody sort of like who's, you know, you don't expect somebody who to look the same way that they looked when they were 20 years younger. I think it's unrealistic, and I think it puts so much pressure on us because we've already got all this other stuff going on that we're stressing about. And again, our cortisol levels, it doesn't help. So the more you stress about it, the worse it gets to kind of like motivate yourself, or to, you know, your body's holding on to everything it can because you're so stressed out. So actually stressing about the fact that we change, or we're changing, or we have changed, is not doing us any good at all.
No, you're right. Yes, and it's one of the questions I was going to ask earlier. Interesting question here. Do you think there's such a thing as successful aging?
Can I answer?
Go for it.
I think there is. I think it's
It can
about,
be.
it can be, and I think it's about it's about you taking control of your own aging. I think that's what it's about. So it is fair enough. Say, for instance, you do develop arthritis. It's something, I don't know if you can prevent it or whatever, but you do, say you develop a long-term health issue. It could be out of your control, but what is in your control is how you move, what you eat, and also your attitude to life, your positive outlook. And so I do think, in, if you want to, or I think there is, and I think it's up to you to take control of that.
I like that. Sybil?
Me, what I want is to keep going, my body back into shape. So there is a thing called success. Yeah, I think so. Successful aging. You can do it. It can be done, but I think it's an individual thing.
Yeah, I agree with you both 100%. For me, successful aging is up here. Once you've got this intact, under control, once you strengthen, don't forget the mind is like a muscle. And the same way you work out, you know, a bodybuilder will work to its maximum to have that look, to build that strength, whatever athlete, the brain is exactly the same. So for me, successful aging is changing my mindset, exercising this muscle to ensure that I live a better life.
Do you think, ladies, that because I think this, and I think it's really helped me with a lot of stress and grief and lots of other things as well, is that the strength of female friendships. And I am really an advocate for that. I think it's not about the quantity, it's the quality of your female friendships, and also just the variety, because different people can give you very different perspectives on life, and enrich your life in different ways. And I really value the fact that I enjoy the company. I'm not singling men out here at all. It's not about that. But I just find that in terms of my female friendships, have given me a lot of, don't, to be fair, I couldn't have got through certain periods of my life without my friends, and true friends. Like I said, not friends that are just there for the good times. Like when you speak to them, you feel good afterwards. I think that's the kind of key. It's like when you, even if you don't see them all the time, after you've had an interaction with them, you come away feeling better than you did when you before. I think that's kind of quite a
It's
good
like seeing a boy you used to
indicator.
fancy years ago. You just think, what was I thinking? Why was I not friendship?
Yeah, yeah, it's true. Yeah, you get
But
that
okay,
one.
I think this has been a really, really healthy conversation, you know, and it's only the beginning.
Mm.
What I'd like is for us to regroup
Yeah,
and
and I think also, I don't know how you want to work it better, but I think there are others out there. I mean, obviously this has been recorded and other people will want to jump on. I've got, people, friends who are they're going through the same thing. And I just, I'm going to talk to them after this and say, you know what, you need to talk more. We need to spread the word. We need to get it out there. Because like, for instance, going to the GP, I mean, it's just like male. You try to get a female, whatever, they just fob you off. It's like, yeah, you're going through that. Take this, take, and it's not about that. I want to talk about why my body, what's happening, why is this happening? It's menopause. Yeah, menopause. That's all. It's menopause. You're going through your menopause. Take this. This is. I'm thinking, okay, what is it? What I mean? What is menopause?
help
Yeah,
me.
my body's changing. Help me to understand it. Help me to say, okay, like we've spoken today, we have to be kind to ourselves. I haven't been kind to myself. I tell you, I've been depressed. I've just been like, oh God, I can't do this. I feel ashamed. I feel, you know what I mean? Are these all emotions that we're going through? And I think we need to, yeah, be kind to ourselves. But doctors need to be, well, my doctor anyway, my GP, because you never see the same doctor anyway. They just need to be a bit more empathetic.
You're absolutely
Well,
right. I
why don't
think
we have that as our next topic then? So maybe
yeah,
invite some
yeah.
friends on and we'll talk about our experiences with our local doctors.
GPs.
I think that would be a really interesting conversation to have and maybe have another.